welcome back to hot tip number 5. This is 5 under 5. What are we covering today? Two things encapsulated into one. We're looking at empathy and we're looking at non-judgmentality. How do we help to craft this? Well, the first question is, do you know the difference between empathy and sympathy? And it's okay if you don't, because quite a lot of people actually don't. Now, what is empathy? Empathy is the ability to put yourself in someone else's shoes after they walked the journey of 1,000 miles and appreciate how that may feel. Sympathy is more like, that's going to hurt. One has more use, especially in a coaching conversation. When we're starting to think about empathy in relation to our coachees, we can put ourselves in their shoes, start to see the world a little bit differently, and start to appreciate the challenges they may be experiencing, so we can ask them better questions. How do we help to make this happen? The first part is to understand who is the most important person in the conversation. We have to ask this question before we go into a coaching relationship, before we go into a review session or one-to-one, whatever it is, we have to learn to ask who the most important person in that conversation is. And right now, in this conversation that I'm having with you, who is the most important person in this conversation? It's you. It's not me. I'm here to impart an idea, share a concept with you to help you develop your performance personally and professionally. Therefore, if you don't get this or aren't able to appreciate how this might help you, then I haven't succeeded in this conversation. And this is the same when you're working with an individual, like I say, in a one-to-one or a coaching environment, is remembering who is the most important person in this conversation. And for those of you who've got children, we don't have children so that they can be equal to or less than us. We have children so they can grow and develop and supersede us. And it's the same with the people that are in our gift at work as well. This is like our work family. Remember, who is the most important person in the conversation? What else can we do to help encourage this? Another one here is who you bring to the conversation. This is you. When you enter in this conversation, who do I bring to this? What parts of me do I need to include to help this individual elevate their abilities and their understanding? Now, if I've stubbed my toe or run the cat over, dinged the car, spilt coffee, whatever, that's just life. The person that you're speaking to, that's not their main concern. When you come into that conversation, remember who is the most important person in the conversation and who you bring to help that person elevate their game so they can get a better performance for themselves as well. So when we ask these two questions, we can change the dynamic in our head and elevate the conversation to the next level. By doing this, we can remove the judgment we cast on people. Now, as human beings, we judge people in something ridiculous, like 1.5 seconds the moment we see them. The hair, the makeup, the nails, the outfit, the car they drive, where they come from, the accent, all of these things come into our brain. So it's about being aware that we do it as human beings anyway. It's hard-coded into us from an evolutionary standpoint. If we can capture it and we understand that our brain is playing tricks on us, we have to play tricks back on it. We hear the information and then we can start to ask better questions based on the information rather than making snap decisions. Walter Whitman said it best. Be curious, not judgmental. Ask better questions. You will get better answers, and as a result, you will get better outcomes. I hope these 5 tips have been helpful. I look forward to seeing you in the new year for classroom session number 2. Have a lovely Christmas, and I'll see you soon.